There are many ways of reducing the cost of your medical insurance. First, you may want to have a look at the list of hospitals that you are permitted to go to under the policy. If they cover some of the more expensive central London hospitals and you live out in the countryside, you may wish to remove cover for them. Whilst it used to be true that a lot of the specialisation was in central London, this is not necessarily true now. Another way is to apply an excess to the policy. These start at £100 and can go up to as high as £2,000. The excess applies per person per policy year. So bear in mind that if you have a family of 4 on your policy and all of you claim in 1 year, then all 4 excesses will have to be paid. Also be aware that if, for example, you have a policy that renews in January and you have a claim in December, you will have to pay the excess for the December element of the claim and then again in January. However, as I said, the excess only applies once per person per policy year, irrespective of the number of illnesses. In some cases, you may find an excess which is payable once per illness, but these are very rare now. A reduction in the level of outpatient cover is another means of reducing costs, and you will find that some insurers that they offer a 6-week waiting list option where a claim is only allowed if the NHS cannot treat that condition in your locality within 6 weeks. This option is also becoming rare. Finally, if your claims under the policy have been minor, or were some times ago, and those conditions are not likely to reoccur and are not ongoing, then you may wish to ask us to look at the market for you. It is much cheaper to start a new policy afresh than continue with one which may have historically become very high in cost. Again, though, bear in mind that if you have any recent or ongoing medical conditions, it is likely that it may well be excluded from cover by any new insurer. If you'd like just to speak to us about your requirements or have any other questions, please do call us on 01798 300 800.